Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to March. I can't believe we're here in March. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this page so you don't miss any of my updates. I'm doing videos every week now with lots of important tidbits and spiritual topics coming through all the time. So let's dive into our March 2023 update. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, I'm recording this here the day before March and the energies and the themes have come in hot. I know that this is going to be a really big month for us. I know it's going to be a big month, not just because of these themes, but also because of what my guides have been sharing with me about the equinox energies that are coming in later in March and how this is going to be a new degree of empowerment and light that we've never attained before on this planet that's coming in this month. So as you can imagine, leading up to that, we've got some stuff to release. We've got some things to learn ahead of that. So let's talk about these themes, okay? So the first theme that I want to talk with you about is breaking generational loops. So this is big. You know, I talk with you all a lot about clearing ancestral patterns and breaking out of ancestral patterns. And this is an interesting theme because I'm actually seeing these as recurring energetic loops that we don't even choose to be a part of, but we swept up in because of the family line that we've incarnated within. And so it's a little bit different than like ancestral trauma. I wouldn't call these traumas. I would call these mental loops or programs that we are continuously running in because of the family lineage that we come from. So as I've been seeing this in people's fields and working with this with clients, what I'm noticing is that my guides showed these loops to me almost as if we were driving on a dirt road that had ruts in it, and our tires get stuck in the ruts and we can't seem to get our vehicle out of those ruts because they're so deep. And so these things are really ways of being that you might be participating in that are so ingrained to you that you're not even aware. So I anticipate that when these come to the surface, they're going to be like really fast awareness, really big, fast awareness of things where you are really just out of alignment with your individual truth and running these generational loops. So this could be about how you're showing up in relationship with other people. It could be about how you're making money, how you're working, how you're experiencing your work life. It could be things about how you're parenting. It could be all kinds of different things. Maybe some things around how you're showing up in your body, how you take care of your body. These are deeply ingrained patterns that you are not even aware are patterns. And so one of the ways that some awareness might come to this is you might have someone in your life that shows up and is in one of these loops, and you're like, wow, how can they be stuck on this loop? Why are they stuck on stupid here? Why are they stuck in this loop over and over again? And in observing that, you're going to have this kind of epiphany of, oh my gosh, I have a similar loop and it looks like this, right? So this is how those awarenesses could come in. Now it's going to require you to be in that neutral observer place, right? So last month we worked on claiming your journey and getting more rooted in your being and letting go of some kind of mental prisons that you were in around self-sabotaging patterns. We're going a layer deeper now, right? And so you've got to approach these loops and these patterns and these behaviors with curiosity. So if there is something that you're working on letting go of, something that you're working on healing, some pattern that you're participating in, or some loop that you know that you're in and you're like, I think that this might be generational, but I don't know how. Step one is to be in a place of curiosity, and step two is to ask, right? Ask your team, ask your guides, ask your helpers for information on where these loops are coming from. Where are these generational patterns coming from? Who in your family line is carrying this energy? Why did it get started? And you know, some of you are further along on your spiritual path and you're going to get a lot of information. Others of you are just beginning and you're going to get just a little bit of information. The great part about this particular theme is it doesn't matter how much awareness you have. It's the openness and the curiosity of saying, hey, am I participating in something and I don't even want to be participating in it? Am I participating in something without my choice, right? And so it's important that we just start to ask those questions. And I think you might be surprised what you find this month. I think it's going to be really interesting. Okay, I'm noticing that some of these generational loops are really impacting how we're showing up in the amount of support that we can receive, either in terms of abundance or money, in physical support and feeling good in our body. There's a lot of really big recurrent themes that these generational loops are hooked into that are going to start to be dismantling this month, because they're keeping us from channeling all the light that we're going to receive during the equinox. Okay, so this is some shadow work. This is some deep work that we're going to be getting into. And so ask for a lot of help here. If you're stuck in a rut, ask for help in seeing your way out of it, right? And that takes me to the second theme, which is the medicine of what happens when you find one of these generational loops. So these generational loops by default are lacking choice, meaning you're in a rut and you're not necessarily continuing every day to choose to show up in that rut, right? That's what these loops are. In order to move out of that and to step out of those patterns and to step out of that energy, we have to activate our divine creator energy. We have to activate our creation potential and our action energy and our willpower so that we can say, no, this is not what I want to choose anymore. Even though this is what I've always known, even though this is what I saw my parents do and my grandparents do, I don't want this anymore. This does not feel like freedom to me. I want to make an empowered choice. And so you're going to be working in our second theme on becoming an active creator, okay? Choosing something different. And that word choice is very important. What I'm seeing a lot of people do is just accept what is, right? They're just accepting that this is the way that they are and this is the way that it's always been, and they're not actively choosing something else. And so it's like going to a diner. Let's say that this is the universal diner, the diner of the universe. You go and you sit down and you place an order, except you don't. You sit down and you just keep looking at the menu. Right? The typical way you would go to the diners, you'd look at the menu, would place an order, your order would come in and you would eat. Okay. What I'm noticing is that people are sometimes not even getting to the diner. That's sometimes step one, right? This place of awareness of, oh, I can even ask for something. And number two, when they get to the diner, they're reading everything on the menu and they're so afraid of making the wrong choice, of getting it wrong, of failing, that they're not even placing an order. They're not even asking for anything. They're not even asking for help. So becoming an active creator means placing your order, folks. You've got to place your order. The universe cannot meet you halfway if you don't even ask for anything that you want. And I understand that might be challenging for some of you. I've had many months, I'd say the last year and a half, one of the things I've been struggling with is, okay, what do I want to do next? And so what I started saying to the universe is, okay, help me get clarity on what I want. Help me see a template of what I want. Help me experience a little bit of what I want, okay? You can also say to the universe, help me experience what I don't want, but I don't recommend placing that order because that's not so fun. So ask for examples, right? Ask to be guided towards getting that clarity of what you want to ask for and what you really want, okay? And so when you're becoming an active creator and you're placing these orders at the universal diner, it might start with something very simple that says, hey, let me have some clarity and let me feel peace in the process. Let me feel joy in the process. And one of the things that I've been orienting to is I just have basically been saying to the universe, hey, I want more love. I want to give and receive more love. I want to experience more love. I want to experience the vibration of love. That's a really easy order, right, for me to place, because the universe can say, wow, I can give her 100 things today that make her experience that help her to experience that. So when you're placing these orders and becoming an active creator, I don't mean like manifesting specific things, specific jobs, specific relationships, specific material possessions, okay? You know, that all those things are great, but you also have to be willing to say, what is the vibration that I want to experience more of? How do I want my days to feel? What is the essence of what I really want to experience on this planet? And that's what you want to place an order for. Okay, so it's normally a feeling, it's normally a vibration, a state of being that I'm really talking about here. Because if you are not an active creator and you're not placing your order and you're not saying to the universe, I want more of this, you're going to get whatever is given. okay? You're going to get whatever you experience. And some of us, let's be honest, we're in situations where we're experiencing things and there's people around us who are really suffering and really having a hard time waking up and having a hard time doing their inner work. And so if we're not being an active creator and saying, hey, I want more love, I want more connection, I want more joy, then we're going to just experience more of what we've been getting. Right? So this energy, I feel, is really asking us, this theme is really asking us to step more into our creatorship. You're going to hear this as a theme throughout this year, because every time I tune into the energies of 2023, it is about being empowered, being embodied, being a way shower, stepping forward, moving ourselves forward and really claiming what we want. And so the equinox energies, when we get this big influx of light, it's coming with a whole heaping gift. Okay? But if you haven't placed your order, you're going to receive nothing. Okay? So ask for what you want, right? Ask early and ask often. I could give you a dozen examples of this in my life right now where I'm just kind of, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this. I don't know what the right next steps are. Please help me to get clarity. And then boom, clarity comes. Oh, this feels really stuck. Please help that to get unstuck. Oh, boom, something's unstuck. I get an email right away. Things have shifted, right? You have to ask. You have to be an active creator. Really choosing what it is that you want to place that order about, right? Really actively ordering at that universal diner. Okay, that's the second theme. So the third theme, and this one is big, okay? I have already started to help people with this particular theme in session just today. And my goodness, these are big energies. So before I get into this theme of embracing the sacred rebel, I want to talk with you a little bit about what else is going on, right? When we get into March and April, it's real interesting. We start playing with unity consciousness and Christ consciousness. We get into Easter, we get into some of these religious holidays, and I always see it as a beautiful opportunity for us to step into more of a deep connection of what they really mean, right? Behind the religion. What is this really about? It's about love, it's about unity, it's about connection, it's about support, all of those things. It's about being a divine creator, right? So we're seeing this in the themes. I'm also about to teach a class in the New Earth Now School. It starts at the end of March on clearing the disempowering energies of religion and the disempowering energies of spirituality. And so I want to talk with you about what I've been experiencing as I'm bringing these topics in for this class, because it really speaks to this theme of embracing the sacred rebel. So when we embrace the sacred rebel, we step into a release of good girl and good boy programming, okay? A lot of this programming of following the rules and doing what we're told, even if we didn't grow up in a traditionally religious household, has its roots in religion. Okay, so we're going to be clearing as a collective this month some disempowering energies around religion, the things that keep us out of alignment with Source, out of connection with God, Jesus, Yeshua, Mother Mary, all of these beautiful beings of light that are really here to anchor love onto this planet. So we're going to be clearing that. But also understand on the spirituality side, we've got some things to be cleared too, because in spirituality, we go into this place of, well, I just need to be light and love and everything needs to be great. And we go into spiritual bypassing. So I'm seeing this theme of embracing the sacred rebel as clearing out this duality, right? We're clearing out these two poles. And so that's the way it's showing up for me, because I'm about to teach this class. But for you, the sacred rebel may be that person who says, I see that rule. I see how it benefits me. I see how it benefits society. But I also see that within that rule, this is where my truth is. Okay? This is where my truth lies. That sacred rebel follows that middle path. They can see the duality, they can see one side versus the other, and they walk that middle path of alignment with self, not in a selfish way, okay? This is an open-hearted energy. I would say the low side or the shadow side of the sacred rebel is just the rebel. It's somebody who's angry and battling and fighting against the system and kind of fighting just to fight, right? Fighting because they see a system and they want it to break. On the other end of that spectrum, on the other side of the sacred rebel, maybe the perfectionist side says, ooh, I see that this is the way they're telling me to show up, and I'm just going to show up that way, and that's how I'm going to get validated, and I'm going to be perfect, right? So we don't want to claim either of those, right? We want to really anchor into what is right for us in our experience. What is our truth? How can we align with the sacred rebel that says, I see this duality and I also see where my truth lies. I see how I can hold that middle ground here. I see how when I step into my sacred rebel, I can be in my highest expression. I can be in my highest light. I can be in my highest power. That sacred rebel does not take any bullshit from anyone, but they also can see that the bullshit that's coming at them is really coming from a wound. And instead of vilifying the person who's coming at them, they can look behind that and they can say, wow, there's a wound happening there. And I can see that wound and I can still choose to set a boundary with this person from a place of love, right? I can still choose to love myself. I don't have to hate them in order for me to be in my power. This is a very open-hearted, powerful energy, the sacred rebel. They see how being the sacred rebel means that they are going to look at systems that already exist, see the good parts, pull from those good parts and create something new. This is the zone of genius of entrepreneurs, of people who are creating new things on this planet that are going to revolutionize the way that we live and the way that we work and the way that we heal our bodies. The sacred rebel is a zone of genius for us, okay? So when you claim this energy, you step into a place of flow with what you came here to do, whether that's be the best mom possible, whether that's to be a doctor who is inventing some kind of cure outside of the realm of pharmaceutical medicine. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The sacred rebel aligns with their mission. They align with their truth, and they don't let any rule get in the way of that, right? They certainly don't just snub rules just to snub them, but they really take it with a grain of salt. And so as you're releasing these good girl and good boy programs that are normally the antithesis of this, you also may be releasing some anger and some fire. I really feel like this theme of embracing the sacred rebel is about stepping into heart alignment with the parts of us that need to be loved, right? Because we all have a rebel inside of us that is angry at something. And generally, when that part is not witnessed or shamed, or is shamed in some way, it gets bigger, and then we behave badly. So the sacred rebel says, I see these rebellious parts of me and I can love them. I can appreciate that they have a place. I can appreciate that they have a zone of genius that I need to apply them to in my life, but I don't need to just be in rebellion just to be in rebellion, okay? This is a really powerful energy. I think this is an expansion of what we did last month in claiming our journey, okay? Where we really were releasing the disempowering energies that were telling us what to do and how to be. Now we're going to claim that rebel that says, oh, you can tell me all you want, but I'm still going to do the thing that's in alignment for me, but I'm going to do it through love. I'm going to do it with an open heart. I'm not going to make you the bad guy. I'm not going to harm you by being in my truth. I'm going to trust that when I live in my truth and when I live in my power, all will be well. The universe will orient around that, and I can do it through love, right? I can do it through love. This is the open-hearted warrior, right? This sacred rebel. So that's the third theme, embracing the sacred rebel. I think you all are going to find some really interesting things and some interesting energy of empowerment through this theme. And I think you're going to be able to tap more deeply into why you came here if you can embrace this sacred rebel. So that's what we'll be focused on in our healing circle next Wednesday. We're going to be doing some work with embracing that sacred rebel. We're going to clear any shame energy around maybe being in the rebel, maybe in your childhood. We're going to work with that angsty teenager part of us a little bit, bring some healing to that. And we're going to create space really for that sacred rebel to have a part in your life to help move you forward, because you need that willpower, you need that drive, you need that energy to make change sometimes, right? But we won't do it through shame. We will do it through an open heart. So that's happening on Wednesday, March 8th from 7:30 to 8:30. And I already mentioned my New Earth Now school. This is a big module, y'all. As I have been doing some work on bringing in this topic of healing our relationship to religion and spirituality, I have been utterly shocked at how much disempowering religious and spiritual energy that I have in my field, right? I mentioned the low sides of both of those, where in religion we go into shame and judgment and guilt to try to create change. And in spirituality we do the same thing, but we're guilted into being happy all the time and sugarcoating things, right? Neither one is the path. Okay, neither one of those, both of those are existing in duality. And so this course is going to really help us to let go of that and find that middle road of unconditional love, where we can show up in a place of truth and we can pull things from religion that feel good for us, right? We can have a relationship with Jesus. We can have a relationship with Mother Mary and some of these other religious teachers. And we can pull some things from spirituality about raising our vibration and working with our frequency without getting into those spiritual traps, right? So this is going to be a very empowering journey of us being able to clear these things and then step deeply into our right relationship with God, right? Whatever that looks like, God, creator, source, whatever you want to call it, but that's really it, which is really us stepping into right relationship with ourselves, in my opinion. So we'll be working on that at the end of March. That's happening the 28th through the 30th. You can learn more at the link below this video. If you don't have any concept of religion in this lifetime, you're not religious, me either. But there was a lot in there from a lot of lifetimes. We have fought many religious wars, my friends. We have really done a lot of things in the name of religion and spirituality, and some things have not been so good. So we're going to be clearing all that out and stepping into a place of wholeness and worthiness. So join us. Check that link below this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this page. I do Zen with Wednesday updates every week on a different spiritual topic. So check it out and subscribe, and you can learn more from myself and my guides about how to navigate this crazy wild journey that we're on here in this human body. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great March, and I'll see you next month. Bye.